What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, first and foremost, I do want to apologize for being gone the last couple of days, being very inconsistent with uploads. Something came up this weekend. I wasn't able to record things, and, it's unfortunate. I apologize for that, but things should be going back to normal this week. They should be getting back to daily Detroit Lions uploads, so I wanted to apologize for that up front, but, now actually getting into what you guys came for. A lot of storylines have come out about Detroit Lions training camp, obviously, whether that be the good, the bad, the ugly. A lot of storylines have come out about players playing very well, like Quintez Cephas, players struggling early, like Jeff Okudah, and many things in between. And one of the bigger, storylines to come out of training camp in the past couple days is Cory Undlin's praise of Amani Oruwariye and saying things like he's a seasoned veteran, he looks really, really good, and, Cory Undlin basically implying that Amani Oruwariye would be the starting cornerback beside Desmond Trufant if the season were to start today. Now, today we're going to be going over Jeff Okudah's training camp as well as Amani Oruwariye's, talking about that cornerback 2 competition that a lot of people just seem to hand Jeff Okudah right when he got drafted. We're going to be talking about the competition who I think is going to start at boundary corner week 1 for the Detroit Lions at cornerback 2, and why the outcome might not be as serious as some people are thinking it will be. So before we do get into the video though, if you are new to the channel and are enjoying the content, consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. This takes only 2 seconds out of your day to make mine. I'd be very, very appreciative to everybody that chooses to do so. But with that being said, let's get into talking about both these players' training camp so far and the competition for cornerback 2. Now, when Jeff Okudah was drafted, a lot of people pretty much handed him the second cornerback job behind Desmond Trufant. A lot of people were thinking, if you're drafting a cornerback at the number 3 overall position, he better be that lockdown cornerback he was in college, because if not, that is one of the, that is going to be a horrible pick in your draft. Obviously, being the 3rd overall pick and the 1st round pick for the Detroit Lions, all the Detroit Lions fans, as well as many NFL fans and analysts, have been having their eyes on Jeff Okudah throughout the training camp process. Early in his training camp, early in his rookie campaign, I guess, Jeff Okudah has struggled. I made a video a week and a half ago, talking about his struggles early, him slipping multiple times against Quintez Cephas, Marvin Jones, and Kenny Golladay, all in one-on-ones. He was just struggling to find his footing in the NFL. Now, admittedly, he has been much better throughout the, past couple days, past week or so, as, he's had multiple pass breakups and even an interception on Matthew Stafford in team drills. So he's looked much better throughout training camp, or he's looked much better throughout the second week of training camp than he did in the first week, and he is still continuing to improve. He is only a rookie after all, and even though he is the 3rd overall pick, he's going to have his growing pains, he's going to have his rookie moments, and he is going to struggle throughout the 2020 season no matter how much playing time he does end up getting. With that struggle early, with the with Jeff Okudah struggling to make plays early in training camp, and just taking a little bit more time than initially predicted by many to get up to speed and be that lockdown corner we saw at Ohio State, Amani Oruwariye has stepped up tremendously, and he has been really, really good throughout the training camp process, and has gained and received a lot of praise from the new defensive coordinator in Cory Undlin.
Cory on Oruwariye, I think with all the focus that is paid on Jeff, like some of the things that he's done, Oruwariye gone and kind of maybe overlooked. Just curious if you've seen progress, and if you do have to go to him in week 1, how ready is he for that assignment?
Oh, he's more than ready, I would say. I mean, we're not to that point. We haven't made that decision yet. Very, very impressed with where he is at. The things that he's done this far. He looks like a seasoned veteran right now, and everything that he's doing. So I'm really pleased with where he's at. I'm not making any assumptions on what we're going to do in 2 weeks, but I'm very happy with him. And he's played very well. He's not played perfect. If you guys were out there yesterday, 2 balls down there in the red zone, very great contested by him, 2 great throws by the quarterback, and then great catches by both those wideouts. But very pleased with where he's at. He's going to help us.
Cory Undlin had a interview a few days ago, and the whole time it just seemed like he was praising Amani Oruwariye, saying things like he's a seasoned veteran, and just talking Amani up, and basically implying that if the season were to start today, Amani Oruwariye would be that second cornerback outside of Desmond Trufant, and Jeff Okudah would not be the starter. Now, I know when Jeff Okudah was drafted, the consensus opinion was that he was going to be that second cornerback. He was going to be the guy outside and beside, he was going to be the guy beside Desmond Trufant, locking down opposing wide receivers and helping this Detroit Lions secondary become elite, and Amani would be a rotational guy as that fourth cornerback. However, the cornerback 2 spot is not going to be just handed to Jeff Okudah because he was the third overall pick. Now, Amani Oruwariye is a beast in his own right, as last year as a rookie for the Detroit Lions, he only played in 9 games. However, he did have 19 total tackles, 3 passes defended, and 2 interceptions, both being late in the game that honestly should have turned the tide and helped the Detroit Lions win those games if they did have a competent offense at the time. Now, Amani stepped up very late last year and played so well that a lot of Detroit Lions fans and a lot of, people surrounding the Detroit Lions had this notion, had this thought that, maybe we don't need Jeff Okudah. Maybe we can just rock with Darius Slay or whoever that cornerback 1 is, and, Amani Oruwariye at the 2, Justin Coleman in the slot, and just rock with those starting 3, and then that gives us the opportunity to take Isaiah Simmons. That gives us the opportunity to take Derek Brown, and some people even want us to take Tua Tagovailoa to groom behind Matthew Stafford. Amani played so well in the 2019 season that many believed that we did not need Jeff Okudah at the 3rd overall pick. However, we did select Jeff Okudah at the number 3 spot, and, immediately all that praise went from Amani Oruwariye being the next Detroit Lions great cornerback to Jeff Okudah is going to outright win the starting job, and he is going to be a monster in the secondary. And I still think that is the case. However, I don't think it's as simple as, okay, you were drafted higher than Amani, you're going to get the starting job over him. Amani is not going to just give up his starting spot, and so far it looks as though Amani Oruwariye is just outperforming Jeff Okudah in training camp so far. Jeff Okudah, as I said, has improved throughout the past 2 weeks. He started off very slow. He started off struggling a ton, and throughout the past week and a half or so, he has steadily improved, and, we've even seen pass breakups and interceptions in both one-on-ones and team drills, and again, as I said, he had an interception against Matthew Stafford. So he has improved, and he has started to make plays throughout training camp. However, it might be a little bit too late, as, Amani Oruwariye he isn't slowing down. He is not giving up an inch on this competition, and if Amani Oruwariye continues to play at the level he's playing at, he will be the starting cornerback when we kick off against the Chicago Bears. When that defense takes the field in week 1, Amani will be that second boundary cornerback beside Desmond Trufant, and we will see Jeff Okudah, the 3rd overall pick, on the bench to start the game. Obviously, Jeff Okudah has been getting more reps with the ones as training camp has gone along. Jeff Okudah has improved significantly, and, it seems as though the Detroit Lions are trying to work him in with the ones more and more. However, if Jeff Okudah can't make a huge jump in the next week, he's not going to be the starting cornerback because, yes, we do still have 2 weeks, 13 days before we kick off against the Chicago Bears, but we really only have this week left, or Jeff Okudah really only has this week to, earn that starting spot, because next week is going to be all preparation for the Bears. It's going to be all game planning, and they're not going to be rotating guys around with the 2s and 3s like they are in training camp. They're going to be sticking with their first string guys. They're going to be, if Amani Oruwariye wins that second string job by the end of this week, he will be the starting cornerback, and they will go into game planning for the Chicago Bears with Amani being that second cornerback. Now, that does not mean that Amani has won the job yet. Obviously, Jeff Okudah has a week left to prove to the Detroit Lions coaching staff that he is the 3rd overall pick, that he is worthy of that, and that he is going to be the lockdown cornerback we drafted him to be. However, right now, it's not looking too great for Jeff Okudah, unless he can step up significantly like he did, after the first couple days, unless he can just take that another jump to be a true lockdown cornerback and really surpass Amani Oruwariye, who's having a great camp in his own right. Jeff Okudah is going to be sitting on the bench in week 1. Now, that might sound really, really bad to some people, and, a lot of people, if, they see this video, they're going to say, well, if Jeff Okudah is not starting week 1, it's going to be a wasted pick. And that's not necessarily true. The NFL is not black and white. Playing time is not black and white. Just because you're not the starter doesn't mean you're not going to see any snaps. No matter who the number 2 cornerback is, whether it be Jeff Okudah or whether it be Amani Oruwariye, they're still going to get tired. They're still going to get subbed out. They're still going to get rotated around. No matter who the 4th cornerback is, whether it be Jeff Okudah or Amani Oruwariye, either one of those guys is going to get a significant amount of playing time because these starters don't play 100% of the snaps. The starters get injured. The starters get fatigued. The starters need a rotation. They need a water break sometimes. And that's when the backups come in and obviously have to step up and hopefully play as good as the starters do for a couple plays while these starters catch their breath, while the starters, recuperate and they, just get ready to go back on the field. No matter who the fourth cornerback is, no matter who the second cornerback is, all of them are going to get playing time. So even if Jeff Okudah doesn't start week 1 for the Detroit Lions, that doesn't mean that Jeff Okudah is not going to get playing time. That doesn't mean that Jeff Okudah is a bust, and it doesn't mean that Jeff Okudah won't start games later down the line in the season. The Detroit Lions are notorious for taking things slow with rookies, especially when they have guys there that can step up and, give that rookie extra time to acclimate to the NFL. Because, as much as these guys were monsters in college, the NFL is a whole different monster. The NFL is a whole different beast. And, sometimes it just takes certain rookies much longer than others to, adjust to the NFL. And cornerback and defensive back is one of the toughest positions to do that for. With that being said, do not be surprised if in 13 days, when the defense for the Detroit Lions, their starting 11 takes the field, Amani Oruwariye and Desmond Trufant are the 2 starting cornerbacks for the Detroit Lions. Do not be surprised if we see clips and sideline shots of Jeff Okudah sitting on the bench and, not playing as much football early as a lot of people anticipated. Do not be surprised if that happens, because the reality right now is that if Jeff Okudah doesn't step up, if he does not have a, immaculate next couple days of training camp, he's not going to overtake Amani Oruwariye before the start of the 2020 season. He's not going to be the starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions early in the 2020 season, and Amani is going to be that guy that a lot of people thought he was before the draft. Now, with that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. As I said, even if Jeff Okudah doesn't start, that doesn't mean he's not going to get playing time. That doesn't mean he is a bust automatically. It just means he needs a little bit more time to adjust to the NFL, and I still think he's going to be very, very good whether he starts week 1 or not. But with that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments below, who do you think is going to win this starting cornerback 2 job? Do you think Jeff Okudah is going to do enough to win it in this next week, or do you think Amani Oruwariye is going to be able to hold on to his position and start week 1 versus the Chicago Bears? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But with that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. If there is Lions news before tomorrow, I'll obviously make a video letting every single person know. But until then, that is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. If there is no more Lions news, I will see all of you tomorrow with more Detroit Lions content. But until then, that's all I got for you guys now. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.